Today guys, I wanted to talk to you about construction sites in Grand RP. As you probably already know, they were recently altered with the hopes to make it a little bit better. But while trying to make it better, they kinda made it worse. And we're gonna talk about how they could possibly fix this, and of course what the actual issue is. So I hope you guys go on to enjoy the video, and if you haven't joined the server before and want to, be sure to click the link down below in the description, click on start playing, select which server you want to play on, register an account, download the launcher, and if you need any further assistance, there's a quick video tutorial at the end to help you guys get started. And if you want to play on your phone, there's a link down below for that as well. Everything you can do on the PC version of the game, you can do on the go. And if you use code Frolickz when you sign up, you'll get a free rare accessory. But with that said, I hope you guys go on to enjoy the video, and let's get into this. So most of you watching probably already know about the change that they made to construction sites. Previously, if you were to purchase a construction site, you have 24 hours to complete the project, and if you don't complete it in that time, you would then lose the site and not make any money. They then changed it, so now there is no time limit. Once you purchase the site, you have an infinite amount of time to complete the project until it is 100% done. Now this update came out a few days ago, I believe. Maybe about a week ago at the most. Let's go take a look inside the construction office right now at some of the sites. I would like to buy a building site. All right, this one. You can also see the progress bar, which is this bar right here. It says it's purchased, no work has been done whatsoever. We go to the next one, same exact thing, no work done. This one, you can see a tiny bit of work has been done. By the way, I also looked at this yesterday, around when the server restarted, so roughly around 12 hours ago, and they're pretty much at the exact same point. Oh, those are the only ones available, and they're all purchased. Apartment house, trade center, central, and apartment house. I swear there was more available. Like, I remember doing construction somewhere like over here, I think? Not too sure. But either way, there was only a few lots available, as you could see, and of course they were already purchased by somebody, which means they could then keep those lots for literally as long as they want to until they end up finishing the entire thing. So when you think about it, that actually means they can keep that site, and they get to keep that site until they shut down the servers on Grand RP, which will most likely be at some point in 2026 or 2027, because then they're going to be making servers for GTA 6, obviously. Now that's a major issue, because one, there's only 3 sites shown there. They're all purchased, so 3 people in the entire city of over 460,000 people that have joined EN1 will be able to use those construction sites. I've heard some people say, instead of making it a 24-hour time limit, why not change it to a 1-week time limit? 1 week is honestly a lot more reasonable. You definitely have the time to complete it, if you're able to. And believe me, there's a lot of work to be done. Even if you spend like a good hour and a half there, it's not like you're going to be halfway done. You'd be lucky to be like 1/10 of the way. So here's one option that they could do. Allow anybody to buy the sites whenever they want. And the way this would work is you would just teleport them into another dimension. So let's say myself and 2 other people purchased the exact same one. We all went to go work at it, but we don't see each other because we're all in different dimensions. Similar to how it would be when you go into your garage, or you go into like an office building or something like that. Because then more people would be able to purchase them, not just the few people that managed to get there early and buy them, and then have them sitting around the entire time, when there's actually people out there that want to work on them. I was also thinking they could turn it into more of a business instead of just how it is now. Because pretty much you go, you make your construction company, and then you can go and work on landslides, and walk into these arrows, and do something for like 5 seconds, and then boom, you get some money. Or you can go work at a construction site, and that's literally the only things you could do. And it's been that way pretty much the entire time, except for the one time when they added landslides to make it a little bit more fun for people that like doing the construction work, I guess. So adding personal sites that you're able to do solo would be pretty fun. Like I said, that is similar to how landslides are. They could just add some smaller projects around the entire map, and like I said, they could add them into another dimension. Much like how it is now, there would be an order list with an estimated time to completion. So for example, let's say there was one order on there, repairing a sidewalk somewhere. It pays 100 grand, and it would take about an hour to complete. Not horrible. Another option is fixing up a rundown shop. Pays 300 grand and takes 2.5 hours to complete. Now the estimated time is based on what they presume. Similar to how trucking is, sometimes it says it'll take 19 minutes for you to do this entire delivery, when in reality, it only takes you 9 minutes. Another option is repairing a pothole. Something simple. The pay, $10,000. Estimated time to completion, 2 minutes. And if you're able to do it solo, you would obviously need some supplies with you. So you'd be driving around in a truck that you could purchase for the business, or you can just rent whenever you're going out to do work, and you'd be towing some supplies along with you. Now let's say the job is a little bit bigger. Maybe you need some heavy machinery. You can rent a vehicle, like a cement mixer, a bulldozer, or a dump truck. If you have to go somewhere and dig a hole, or if you have to plow some shit down, or like I said, you're fixing a sidewalk and you need some concrete, there you go. And then as time goes on, you'd be able to level up in the business, much like how it is in an office building. You start with an office that costs $5 million, and then you can upgrade it to the next level, and then to the final level, which costs like 50 mil, which is pretty crazy. Similar to trucking. How you start at the bottom, you can only do crappy little shit orders. You get to level 2, you could do better orders for private businesses, and level 3, you could do government orders. It would be somewhat similar with the construction business. As you progress through the business, instead of renting some of the vehicles that you would need to complete certain jobs, you could just purchase them outright. So then you have them at your earliest convenience, and don't need to pay rental fees. And it's not like it would be super hard for this to be done solo, because as you know, having your own construction company at the moment will allow you to go to landslides and work on them by yourself. Even if there's only like 5 people on in the city, you can complete an entire landslide by yourself by just standing there mining it. But the way it is currently right now is definitely not the best. You rarely ever see anybody posting any ads for hiring construction workers because there's only 3 people that could put those ads out because they're the only ones with the construction sites. And the worst part is none of them have any progress, except for one, which has a tiny bit of progress. So we'll have to check back in a few days and see what the progress bars are at then. But even after you guys see this video, go take a look at them and see if they made any progress. The reason I think having something like I mentioned earlier, a whole company where you're able to do little solo jobs by yourself, or if you really want to, you could bring one of your friends along, add them to the crew, and they can get paid as well. But I think that would be great just because it allows people to make money another way. It would be similar to like owning a bunker and producing stuff in there, or owning an office and having people do office tasks. It's just another great way for people to earn cash in the city that isn't the same as everything else, I guess. And of course, they could change the entire UI up of it, just like how they did with trucking, and just completely revamp the entire construction system. Because I know they had the best intentions, changing it to how they did, but in reality, it just made it 100 times worse. Like take in some dude with $5 million, fly into the city right away, purchase a site, and then never get back on this game ever again, and they could still have the site and nobody else would ever be able to work on it. And it's not like I'm super obsessed with doing construction work. I think I've been to a building site maybe once or twice in the entirety that I've been on this server. You just don't actually make that much money from it if you're one of the workers. If you're the owner, you'll make some decent cash. So changing it more into a business, like I mentioned, in my opinion, would be a lot more fun. Nice little change of scenery for the people that just stand at Beach Market and chill, or for the other people who just don't know what to do at the moment and want to make some cold hard cash. Well, there you go. Like I said, the whole UI would be changed. So when you enter the building, you'd go in here and you'd want to look at your construction company. You could see projects that were completed, you could see how much money you've made, vehicles that you can rent. You could take an order for a specific project instead of just having the option to purchase a building site, which as you can see, obviously had no progress, but man, even the money you make from this isn't insane. It's $4.3 million to complete this site. They've only done 316 square meters out of 9,900. And they're only going to make 1.2 mil off of this. I'm assuming the way this works exactly is every single time one person walks into a specific arrow that they need to do work on, it'll go up by 1. You have a team of 5. 4 people are working on the site, 1 driver. It is going to take a really long time for that to happen. And you're only making 1.2 mil. Like I said, it's pretty much been that way since the city started. So back then, men's Adidas pants were probably still going for around $5 million or something like that. At the end of the day, it would just be a really fun change to see, as it was with trucking. They made the job a lot more enjoyable. You're able to make a lot more money. And I know people keep saying, trucking is patched, you can't make that much money anymore. Well, let's just go take a look really quick. If it was patched, would all of these people still be working at trucking? I don't think so. Let's see. Active tenders. Well, I take a look at it right away, and these are for level 1 people. This is more than you could make before. This is more than you could make before. So is this. So is this. These are a little bit lower, but they're obviously very close drives. This is a lot more. So is this. And then you go to businesses. There's only 1 available at the moment. So obviously you got to wait for them to pop up. But still, before, you were only able to make 6 grand at the most. Why the hell am I over here? But yeah, you were able to make 6K at the most. And then from, I believe, a government order, I think, you could make 7K per order maximum. So if you can make over that, you're making more money. And I still believe there are orders that come out that can be very high. You just got to be lucky and grab them. But anyways, I guess we'll wrap things up here. Let me know down below in the comment section, what do you guys think of what I said about construction sites? Or I guess making the construction company into your own company. I think it would be awesome. And I believe there's a lot more wiggle room in here as well that they're able to do with other businesses in the city, I guess. I'm also not sure why they decided to close off the parking area, an actual area where you could park your car. Everybody's cars are just kind of scattered around here now. We're gonna wrap the video up there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and you never know, maybe in the future we'll see something like this. But with that said, I will catch you guys in the next one.